So, I was actually just reading an article today saying that we've actually reached the tipping point for carbon emissions. We've gone over that. And that is really not a good thing for today's society and for the future societies. What that means is they're going to have to figure out how to make new and renewable sources of clean air. You know, it's clean air is going to become a product. It's going to become industrialized. Well, that's what today's game is all about. In the future, usually only the rich can afford the cleanest and purest of air. But you are now part of the manufacturing process, and you are actually making clean air. So if you can make clean air for everybody, you can afford the clean air for you and your family. This is Ahead in the Clouds. So Ahead in the Clouds is going to be one of the Button Shy Wallet series games. And they're all going to come in this nice little handy wallet so you can carry everything in. I just have a generic one, but the official one will have the Ahead in the Clouds logo printed nicely on them. It's also going to be a deluxe edition, which is going to give you some cardboard chits and everything. They're really not necessary to play the game. So the game's going to come with 17 cards. I have most of them out there. I just didn't put out the ones of the other player, just so I could show them all to you. The only thing you're going to need in addition to the game is some kind of counter to track the rounds and to track the contracts board. And I actually suggest that you grab some pennies here. So I have 8 pennies here, and that's all that you're going to need. But you can honestly use whatever you have on hand. You could use coins of any type. You can use paper clips. You can use pieces of paper. You can use meeples. Whatever you want, you can use that to track them. Just make sure you have 2 different kinds, that way you can track which player has which contract. Other than that, this is pretty much all you need to play the game. So, the first thing you're going to do, every player is going to take one of the 4 resource cards. So you have a hydrogen card, an oxygen card, a water card, and a dust card. Then you're going to do a coin flip, or however you want to determine which player gets which color, or if there's a preference there, there's a red and a blue player. And each player is going to go ahead and collect their main habitat, and they're going to choose a random side for it to start on. So there's one side where if your opponent goes through it, they're going to have to collect, they're going to have to give you a water, or if they go through it, they're going to have to give you one of their dust. Then there are these 3 basic buildings. There is, make sure I get the name right here, there is a dust reclaimer, there is a vapor condenser, and a hydro splitter. And each one of these will give you different resources as you go through them. Or for example, with the hydro splitter, you will spend 3 water, and then you'll get 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, because that's how you make water. Then there are 2 other special cards. There is a magic portal, so when you go through, something might happen, and these are dual-sided. So you're going to choose a random side to put out for each of those. And there is, what is this one called? Oh, the bank. Simple enough. So when you go to the bank, you can exchange 1 dust and 1 oxygen for 1 water and 1 hydrogen, or vice versa. This one also flips, where you can do 2 water and 1 dust for 3 oxygen. So this will start on a random side as well. Then you will set out the blimp board and the contracts board. And the contracts board is how you're going to win the game. What you're trying to do is you're trying to meet the conditions of these contracts. And when you do, you're going to place the coin onto that thing, your side up. So if you're the first player, you're heads. And if you're the second player, you'll probably be tails. But you get to choose which one you want to be. So that is pretty much how you set up. Well, how do you play? So let's just spread everything out a little bit here. And you're going to take 1 coin. Of course, you're going to put it onto the blimp board. You're going to place it onto the first space there. I'm just going to put the contract board off to the side there. And let's just scoot everything here. So whoever's traveled above the clouds most recently is the person who gets to pick first and choose whether they want to be heads or tails. And they're going to be the first player. So let's just say the first player is the red player since they're closest to me. So let's just scoot the blue player over there a little bit. And so you have a couple options that you can do on your turn. You can choose to activate a building that you're currently attached to. You can disconnect from a building that you're currently attached to. Or you can cloud burst, and that kind of sends everything off into the floaty bits. I don't really know what to call it. You can do 3 actions. So you can activate twice. You can disconnect twice if you want to. Cloud burst, pretty much that's going to be a one-time thing unless you do that at the end of your turn as well. As many times as you want to during your turn, you can connect a building, and of course you can turn in contracts. So as many times as I want to, I'm going to start connecting some buildings just so you can see how the game's going to work. On your habitat, you're going to have three places that you can attach buildings. Now, these buildings can never attach to each other. They must attach to a habitat. And you can never affect your opponent's habitat at all. So, to start off the game, I really want to start using some stuff. So I'm going to do that dust reclaimer there. I'm going to scooch over, and I'm going to put the water factory, what is that called again? The vapor condenser. And then I'm going to take the hydro splitter, and I'm going to place it right down there. And that was a completely free action. So, as this being the first turn, I only get 2 actions. After that, you get 3 of those actions. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to start, I'm going to start building up my stock of what I have here. So I'm going to go for my habitat, and I'm going to go over here to the dust collector, and I'm going to collect what it says on the card. So I'm going to activate this building, which is my first action. So activate that, I'm going to gain 2 dust. You indicate that by turning the dust card so it points to you with the number that you currently have. I'm going to march, back to my place, of course, because you always start from your base habitat. And then I'm going to go over here to the, I always keep on forgetting, the vapor condenser. And I'm going to go ahead and collect 2 of those by activating that building. Well, that's all I can do on my turn. I look at what I have here. I have 2 water and I have 2 dust. And on the contracts board, well, there's nothing that really wants 2 water and 2 dust. I'm working my way towards stuff. If I just get 2 oxygen and 2 hydrogen, I'll be able to do this middle one. But we'll see what player 2 has to do. So player 2 now is going to figure out what they want to do. So, since connecting is a free action, they're like, you know what? I think I want some dust. So they're actually going to go over here and they're going to connect, clunk, right to that network. So, since they're connected to the network now, they want to go ahead and they want to collect some dust. So they're going to activate the dust reclaimer. So with that, they're going to gain 2. I guess I should have cards out for them. So they've gained 2 dust. And you know what? They're going to do it one more time because I think they're going to start going for this 7 dust one here. So they can activate that same building. They're going to activate it one more time. So they're going to gain 4. Now if you look at this card here, the card only has 0 through 3 here. So to gain 4, you're going to flip over the card, and now you have up to 7 on the card. So the blue player now has 4 dust, and you know what? They really want some water. So for them to get water way over here, they're going to have to go from their building through my building, and then to gain some water. So that's what they're going to do. So when they hit my building, if you look at the card here, it says, if I can pick up the card here, it indicates here that the blue player will have to give me 1 stone to pass through my building. So they are going to go ahead and they're going to give me one of their stone, which flips their card back over, but they're now on the 3 side. And I'm going to indicate that they gave me a stone, so we both now have 3 stone. Now, because they've activated my building and they've gone through it to get to my, keep on forgetting, what is this? The vapor condenser. I keep calling it the water plant. I'll call it the water plant from now on. So, but because they've gone through this building, and this building has a swirl mark on there, that means the building's going to go to its opposite side now. So, they've gone through there, and now they're going to go ahead and they're going to collect the water. So they've done 2 dust and 1 water. That is all of their activations for this turn. So, let's take another turn. But this round has ended. So, because the round's over, you're going to clunk that another notch in there, and we're almost at the 3rd round. Now, if you look on this tile here, or this card, there are some yellow numbers there. And what the yellow numbers indicate is that's when the blimp arrives. So when the blimp arrives, you must pay the blimp, depending on what section has just ended. So the first time the blimp lands, you must give them 1 resource. You must just throw away 1 resource. The second time you give 2, and the third time you're going to give 3 resources away, and that ends the game. So, let's just see what the red player is going to do on their turn here. Well, let's see, they have 3 stone. So you know what, they're going to go ahead and they're going to get 2 more stone. So that will put them up to 5 stone. And you know what, why not? Let's just go one more time, because they can go get another stone, and that'll put them up to 7. Now, one thing I want to make sure to note here is that if there's ever a time when you're going to take an action and it's going to give you more than your card can ever indicate, so if you go over 7, you can't take that action. So I couldn't take this action as a 3rd time right now because I'm overflowing with the dust. But as a free action, I'm going to go ahead and fulfill a contract. Since the red player is the first player, they're going to go ahead and they're going to do this contract here for the 7 dust, since that's exactly what they have. So they're going to go ahead and they're going to place their coin there. They are going to be the heads player. So they're going to put the coin there, indicating that they have successfully done that. And they're going to spend the dust that they did to fulfill that contract. So red has 1 more turn here. So what red's going to do is they're going to go ahead, they're going to go to the water plant, and they're going to go ahead and collect 2 more water. Since, you know, blue has to keep on spending stuff to get over there. Now it is the blue player's turn. So blue is going to be like, you know what? I don't like that water plant is way over there and I can't get to it. I'm going to cloudburst. So when you cloudburst, everything kind of poof and kind of starts to drift away. So bursting was their first action. So their second action is going to be, let's just say they are going to go ahead and they're going to connect. So connecting is a free action. So they're going to do a similar setup here. They're going to put the hydro splitter there. They're going to put the water place that's pretty far away from the red player. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to put the dust reclaimer right there. And poor red's floating over here by themselves. So that was their first action. So for their second action, blue is going to go ahead and they're going to go to the water factory, the vapor condenser, and they're going to get 2 more. So they're going to flip their card over to 4. But now they're going to go ahead and they're going to go to the hydro splitter. So as I said, the hydro splitter, what that's going to do is they're going to spend 3, but they're going to get 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So 3 of their water go away, leaving them with 1. But they now have 1 oxygen and 2 hydrogen. Let's see here. They still can't do anything yet. Oops, that one came off there. Let's see here. They have 3, 1 and 1. Nope, nope, nothing yet. Nothing that they can claim out. So that's the end of that round. So now we're into round 3. And of course, remember at the end of this round, we're going to have to spend something to give to the blimp. So let's just say that the red player here, let's see here, what do they have? What they're going to do is they're going to go ahead and they're going to connect to the magic portal. And you know what, just for giggles, they're going to go over here and they're going to connect right here to the dust reclaimer. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to connect to the bank. So let's just put the bank right there. As you can see, the cards get flipped around and stuff. It doesn't really matter as long as they're connected. And remember, your habitat can never connect to another habitat, and other buildings can never attach to other buildings. So what they're going to do is they're going to go through the magic portal. Woo! So with the magic portal, right now on this side, 4 of the same item you can throw into the magic portal, and you can get 2 of the same item, or you can get 2 different items. It is your choice. So what they're going to do is they're going to go ahead, and the only thing they have 4 of is they have 4 water. So they're going to go ahead and throw those 4 water in there. So they get now 0 water. And they're going to go ahead and they're going to get 4, let's say they're going to get 4 hydrogen. So they've converted water into hydrogen, which seems kind of a volatile thing, because isn't just pure hydrogen? No, hydrogen is explosive. No, it's not. Oxygen, pure oxygen is explosive. Hydrogen is fine, it's little floaty bits. Anyways, let's see here. 4 hydrogen does nothing for this board. If we had 4 stone, we could do something. But that was the first time they did that. So because I activated the magic portal now flips over to its opposite side here. So now it is going to be 2 of the same. You're going to get just 1 thing now if you decide to use the magic portal. So the blue player is going to take 1 final turn in my explanation of the game. So what can blue do here? They are 3 and 2. Well, they can't really do that much. So they're going to try to set themselves up for a little bit, something along down the road here. So what they're going to do is they're going to go to their own water facility, and they're going to go ahead and collect 2 water, which will put them up to 4. And they're going to go ahead and I think they want to use the magic portal. So for them, of course, to use the magic portal, they're going to have to go through the red habitat. Right now, red habitat saying you've got to spend some water. So they will spend 1 water, putting them down to 3. And remember to collect your water. And they're going to go ahead and use the magic portal. The magic portal is now a 2-for-1 deal. So they are going to spend 2 water, putting them down to 1. And they're going to get 1 dust. So they're working their way towards another goal. So you're going to keep on playing until you get to the final round. Of course, after this round, we all have to give something to the blimp. So I would, let's just say I would give a water, and they would copy me and they'll give a water as well. But anyways, you'll continue on until the final blimp arrives, or until all of the spaces on the contract board have been filled. Whoever has the most spaces on the contract board filled is the winner of the game.
This program is part of the Pathological Nerdcasters Network. Find more at pncn.rocks, where all the geeks come to play.
So that's a few rounds of Ahead in the Clouds. This was a pretty fun little game. I love small games like this that you can throw into a bag and play almost anywhere. If you've watched stuff, you know how I rave about stuff like this, and the Button Shy series of games does that with all of their games. As I said, there are 17 cards that you're playing with in this game, and you just need a few tokens or whatever you have, so this is something that you can easily carry along with you. I know the deluxe edition is going to come with some cardboard tokens, so that way you don't have to worry about finding anything that you need to be able to play the game. But this is very fun. It's a very unique theme. I like the you're trying to, you know, make the air clean and make everything a lot better. But I like how thematic some of the things are, like the cloud burst. Because I think of it as I was like, oh, I'm going to cloud burst now, and everything just kind of starts floating and drifting away from each other. I really like that. But anyways, if this looks like something that you would enjoy, down below I'm going to have a link to their Kickstarter, so you can check that out and see if it's something that you would want to back. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and help support Cloak and Meeple. My subscribe button is right down below. My Patreon link is right over there. Thanks.